Hello, everybody. Hopefully everything is working. Hopefully you can see and hear me. Oh, one sec. I had to close my blinds slightly earlier because it was too sunny. The sun was too intense. Oh, as you can see, it was looking a little dark in here, so I have opened up the blinds. There was a flash of light as the camera adjusted, but we are here now, Blur with first and a 60 stream streak. Holy wow. Thank you, Blur, for always hanging out. Oh my goodness, we're here on time for a change. I am on screen at a time that is 10:30 something instead of 10:40 something. And we're hopefully going to get started pretty quickly today because I've got a lot to do, a lot to get through. And I'm a tiny bit under the weather this week, so if I'm a little bit lower energy, if I tire out a little bit faster, why my camera keeps getting so dark, that's why. So I might try to be a little more swift, a little more efficient, but we're here, and we're working on the final Aruvalia Chronicles trilogy, which we've been working on since the beginning of the year. And today is the day that I'm hoping to finish edits on book 13, Blood of Close Kin, which I've been working on since January. I probably won't get it done on stream. I definitely won't get it done on stream. There's so much to get through, unfortunately. But I am hoping to get it finished today. By the time Winds of Chaos happens this evening, as a matter of fact. Here but tired, I feel you, Blur. Did you not sleep well last night? I actually felt like I slept really great, and then I got up like I got up before my alarm, didn't even need my alarm, felt like I had slept really well, I woke up naturally, I wasn't groggy, but I am tired. Like, I sat here at my desk for a few minutes, and I was like, I slept really good, but I'm still tired for some reason, so I guess sometimes that's just how it goes. Let me see. Let me get timers set up. We're going to do 30-minute sprints with 15-minute breaks, and we're going to get at least 3 in. And we'll see how that goes. There feels like there's so much going on in the world and in general right now, so oh my goodness, if I'm a little bit scatterbrained, if I'm a little bit all over the place, that would be why. There's some windows open in the background that I forgot to close. Alright, we should be semi-organized. I even already have my documents open for today. I already checked my notes, so I know that I just basically have to get through the last 3 scenes and make sure they sound good. There's no big story changes that need to happen. So I've already got my document up to the right chapter. I just need to grab my notepad in case I think of a good title for today. Renee Strength writes, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I didn't sleep well. Only got 4 hours. Blur, I'm so sorry. Was there any particular reason, or was it just one of those insomnia nights? Either way, I hope you get some rest today, and I hope you're able to sleep tonight. Renee, let us know what you write and what you're up to, if you want to. No pressure. I like to hear from chat, but if you are here just to lurk and vibe, that's cool too. Uh, we appreciate our lurkers, and you never need to talk if you're not feeling social. I do a lot of lurking myself, so just one of those nights. I feel you. I had a night like that. Well, you guys remember last Tuesday I was just super tired because it was the same. I had had one of those nights on Monday night, and I was just kind of like, all right, we're gonna get through today somehow. um, we've got a lot going on right now. Ghost Pepper had on Saturday. Ghost Pepper went to see a Briar game. So for anyone who doesn't know what the Briar is, it's a big Canadian curling tournament. So he went to that. I guess there were actually 4 games going on at once. So he actually saw 4 games. He hatched a plan about moving to Nunavut and becoming an Olympic team. I'm not moving to Iqaluit, but you know, that happened on Saturday. He's also participating in a big charity drive this week that our friend Andrew is running. Hopefully, if we overlap the start of that today, we might raid into charity stream. And just in general, I'm realizing that it's March and we have taxes to do, and so I feel like what happened was I woke up yesterday and I was like, it's March, and I remembered all the things I have to do in March. Working on my series that is a romance office and family drama. Nice. What kind of app is your timer? This is Lo-Fi Sessions Spirit City. I'll type it out in the chat. It is a game on Steam. So you can actually grab that on Steam. You can customize, so let me do just quickly the full view. You can pretty much customize your whole room. It's pretty customizable. They have slots now, so I also actually have this room, which we made for my character, Domrin. This is, if he had, his own space, this is what it would look like. It's much plainer. I imagine there's only things on the walls because his friends came over and put things there. But yeah, you can get it. This is the default room you start with, just to give you some idea, and then this is the room that I've customized for myself. It has a whole bunch of sounds that you can choose. Some of them give you like the fire you can turn on and off, the rain you can turn on and off. And then there's also a bunch of different music playlists that you can choose from as well. It's a game, but it's really more of a productivity app, and it works really well for this that we do here. Pie! Got a conspiracy theory brewing in my mind. Sorry, Pie, let me blow my nose and then I will read this. The first redeem that you put in by popular demand, I think you redeemed it yourself! Blur's the one who redeemed it today. I can confirm that I am not Blur. Blur and I are different people. So it's a one-time purchase, the game. You can buy it for a set price on Steam. I don't know how much it is right now, actually. Pop over to the store page. I'm gonna only be able to tell you in Canadian dollar dues. It's $15 Canadian, so $14.99 Canadian. So it's probably around 12-ish dollars US if you're in the US. So it's a one-time purchase and you get the game. They do a bunch of free updates to add more customizable options and more spirits. And if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, they do have a couple of DLCs that add extra skins for your spirits. So in my area, you can see, if we go to look at Lenny, I have these skins here that I bought as part of the winter pack. I paid money for those, and I bought the backer pack, so I have a couple extra. The galaxy skins, I have the galaxy skins for all of the spirits. So I bought those, but you don't have to buy those are just extra. So yeah, it'll probably be around $12-13. It costs $54.99. Bye, no. Oh, does it? Does it cost $54.99 for you? That's insane. I thought you were trolling. You do that sometimes, Pi. Hi, X-Men Chain. I forgot to say hi to someone. I always get your name wrong. I always put the vowels in the wrong order. Why do I do this? Is it Mariah? I know I did it wrong. I think I always put the vowels in the wrong order. Hello. Sorry I can never see your name. I'm so happy to see you. Please be patient with me. I really like the customization options in this game, too. It's super chill. It's super relaxing. It's even become my go-to off-stream productivity app. I even use this when I'm not streaming now. And you can set your... I do. I always put your vowels in the wrong order. I'm so sorry. I will remember much easier. I'm so sorry. I look at your name every time and I'm like... There's an order for the vowels. And I psych myself up and I'm like, you're gonna do it right. And then I'm like, no, you're gonna misremember. I'm horrible with names. In case anyone didn't know, I'm bad with names. I'm even bad with my own. I make up fantasy names and I write them down and I say them wrong. To the point where I have literally changed the spellings of my characters' names in the past because I never said them right. And I'm like, you know what? This is how I say it. I'm just going to change your name to what I say. Because that's your for reals name, not what I wrote down the first time. I write science fiction and fantasy novels. If you head over to megancutler.net, you can read some freebies over on my site. I am currently actually... posting a prompt novel that we have written here on stream that is a novel entirely devised of writing prompts. I rolled a bunch of random writing prompts and I made a novel plot from it. Also, if you head over to... I still haven't updated that. Still haven't updated it, Pi, because I'm the worst. If you head over to the second link there, that's my general Amazon page, you can see everything... that I currently have out. Aruvalia Chronicles, which we're working on today, is a high fantasy epic which is set in a modern world. So my characters slay dragons and then head over to the magical version of Starbucks for some enchanted coffee. I also have out The Celestial Serenade, which is a space opera. It is a sweeping galactic empire setting, but it focuses very heavily on the interactions between characters and what's going on in their lives. And then I've also got Eternity's Empire, which is basically Sailor Moon in space, magical girls in space, based very heavily on many, many mythologies, because I'm a huge mythology nerd. And then we have You Did Remind Me Pi, and I 100% failed to do it. That is 100% on me. I am going to do those hydrations as soon as I finish the spiel. And then we also have Empire, Everyone's Child, which is the one that popped up in Pi's link there, which we actually wrote the entire first book on stream. I did all the planning, all the outlining, all the original writing. I didn't edit the whole thing on stream. I had to do some of it off stream because of scheduling. But that is also another high fantasy epic of mine that has been done largely on stream. So that's me. If you have any more specific questions, please do let me know. Caternator, I saw you lurking, but I didn't want to call you out. Appreciate having you here. Enjoy that lurk. We've got 5 Pi-drates for Pi, who is very kind in reminding me to do things that I still forget to do. A 1. a 3 while I'm pausing in these pie treats. Also, thank you to Blur for shouting out the newsletter. If you sign up for my newsletter, you get 2 free books. One is a fantasy short called The Oracle's Tale, and one is a sci-fi short called The Paradox Syndrome, which involves paradoxes. And I also send out my newsletter once a month with information about book releases and links to the freebies that I post on my blog. And now for 2 more hydrates. A 1. And a 2 for a total of 5. Did I miss anything else while I was talking? How's it going? What's up, my friends? Pie, I would never troll. I think that's big cap, Pie. I think that's big cap. You taught me that word, and now I'm gonna use it. How long did it take you to get this high level? I use this program 5 days a week for, like, 4 hours a day upwards. So take this with a grain of salt. I have 510 hours in this game. And I purchased it, I believe, in August, I want to say. When did I get my first achievement? Yeah, August of 2024. But I use it a lot. You do get, every time you level up, you get spirit bucks. And they're pretty generous with them. And you also, it takes longer and longer to level up. So your first couple levels, you're going to get really fast. I think I got to level 10, like, super quickly. And then it slows down after that. But by then, like, it's so easy to do the unlocks. I think that was the only thing I missed. You just paid Blur to confirm for you? No, what? What? Pie. Someday people will see the truth. Pie, we appreciate you, and I know that the reason why you missed the first redeem is because you're working. And you come home from work, and you come to the stream, and I know that's why you missed the first, and I appreciate you. I do not pay Blur to redeem the first. Blur does seem to lurk in the chat a lot, though, like, right around the time I start, so she does seem to notice when I come online. Not too much going on, trying to get myself back into writing. It's going slow. Hey, if you have just taken a break, extended or otherwise, starting slow is good. Momentum takes time. You don't take a break and then instantly go back to where you were the week before you stopped taking a break. The week before you stopped writing. That's what I meant to say. It takes a little while to get back into that mindset, get that momentum up. But good luck, my friend. I hope it goes well. I was just reading up through chat where Pi said, you pay Blur to confirm for you. Oh my goodness. So yeah, as I mentioned, we are working on my Aruvalia Chronicles today, which is my epic high fantasy that takes place in a modern world. The main character is that grumpy little elf fellow down there in the corner below me, Domarin. He is currently in the middle of something, because I once again left off in the middle of a battle scene. So that is where I am going to resume. And as I said, I think we're going to try and get going pretty quickly here today, because energy is a little bit at premium for me this week. So just got to try and keep a reference. Around the time you start is when I'm usually arting. Nice. Buy all the shiny things in the game. Yes, I've mostly been buying the spirit. I've been mostly buying the spirit skins that I don't have. So we've gone through sort of a bunch of them before. But I've been working my way through getting all the skins. And then I'm gonna start just buying extra room stuff just to have it. But I also sometimes save my stuff a little bit because I know that they're gonna put out new stuff. So they put out a really big Halloween update. They put out a really big Christmas update. So I'm kind of expecting around Easter that we'll get a spring update with some new stuff because they've done a lot of winter and fall stuff. So I'm assuming they're gonna do some fall and summer or some spring and summer stuff as well. So I do save up my money a little bit for that. But I mostly unlock the skins for the spirits. I'm having a little bit of a laugh because my astrology program told me not to do subplots today. And I'm like, it's literally my job. I literally have to do subplots. Yes, they are doing a kitchen DLC, and I'm very tempted by it. I have bought all of the stuff for this game. They did make it clear that it's going to be a uh my words are a little bit. I'm sorry if I a lot more than usual. My brain is buffering. They did say it's going to be mostly visual customization, so it's not going to have any extra productivity related things to it. It's mostly visual customization, but I think it's going to give you more activities to do with your spirits. So I'm definitely curious about what's going to be in that. We'll buy as soon as I get paid after drops. Heck yeah! There are very few things where I'm like camping the page in order to get the new content, but I definitely have supported everything they've done with this game. And I also Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. I know we haven't used it in a while, but I am gonna bring it back. I'm gonna do a little bit of crafting in March, over March break, and I think we're gonna resurrect Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. Is another one where every time they drop something, I'm like, take my money. They promised they wouldn't lock productivity stuff behind a paywall. 100%, and they've been really receptive to feedback. These developers. I think this is a relatively small company, and I think this is their first like big app slash game. So they've been really receptive to feedback. They've been really open to adding things that the community have asked for. And I do think that a lot of, like, they do add a lot of visual stuff, and they do add a lot of spirits. Like, obviously, a lot of the game is centered around that. But they've added a lot of extra functionality that people have asked for. Because it's not just members of the writing community who use this kind of stuff. It's people with ADHD who need a little something extra to help them focus. Other neurodiverse people as well who find different aspects of gamifying things or having a productivity timer. There's even a journal in there as well, which I don't use because I have a different journaling program. I mean, I have my physical day planner literally sitting on my shelf right there. But they've been really receptive and open to feedback and adding extra functionality for that kind of stuff. And it is, I think, primarily meant to be for productivity, which is nice. Because honestly, I used to use about 3 different programs in order to stream music, white noise for myself, and have a productivity timer that worked the way I wanted it to work. And I used to have to use like 3 separate programs. And then we also would have the ducks as sort of like visual stimulation for while I was doing something else. And so it was a lot more setup. It was a lot harder on my computer because I was running a lot more stuff at one time. This is nice and simple and easy, and I don't have to worry about the music getting my Twitch channel muted. I don't have to worry about uploading my VODs on YouTube. Because everything is stream safe and everything is just in one nice little package. I just hit the on button, set up. I do wish the timer would save my settings in between sessions, but that's like my only complaint. So really, whatever. And it's nice. It's nice to see what they put out for the new updates, and you can change your room anytime. So if I just get sick of the clouds and whatnot, I can just go in, I can fiddle with my room, I can unlock new stuff whenever I want. So it's really cool. My husband actually found this before me, and he was like, this seems right up your alley, and he bought it for me, and I tested it out, and I was like, yeah, this has been really, really convenient and useful for me. All right, I'm going to do what I always do, although I'm doing it a little bit earlier than usual. I'm going to take a quick AFK, because I just want to pop into the restroom before we start the sprint timer. And then when I get back, we're going to start our first sprint, and I'm going to try to move pretty swiftly through things today, because I've got 19 pages to edit to the end of this book, and I want to get at least 12 done on stream, which it sounds like small numbers, but I do all of my editing at once. So I am line editing, I am plot editing, I am polishing, I am mega insane. I just do it all in one go. So it's a very heavy editing process. So it takes a lot of brain power. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go wash a room, as Carly would say. And as soon as I get back, we will begin productivity. welcome back. Bruce, thank you so much for 34 months. Appreciate you and happy to have you. Thank you, Blur. I'm assuming that you're arting today, since you said I usually start around the same time you start arting. Alright, I am settled back in. We've got all the timers good to go. ZZ320, hello, hello. How's it going? Spicy side-eye. Bruce, what are you up to today? I saw that you sent me a message. Bruce, I saw you sent me a message on Discord. I might need slightly more context. Doing alright? Glad to hear it. Alright, we're gonna go into focus mode. Bruce, I love you. I appreciate you. That's a slightly different version of the message than you sent on Discord. Why am I trying to start the timer there? The timer's on this screen. Good God. My brain just does not fully function today. I apologize. All right. I definitely do understand this one better. The last emote in Discord was what threw me a little bit. I appreciate you, Bruce. And you're amazing. Oh, Bruce, I remember you said about a job interview. Did you hear back yet? If you don't want to answer in the public chat, you can always answer me in the Discord, but I wanted to check in. Thank you, ZZ320. I try. I have a bit of a buffer, because I don't actually write them that quickly, so I prepare them well ahead of time. second round interview Thursday, and they started the background check and collecting reference today. Hell yeah, Bruce. Congrats and good luck. Plan to buffer them with the series I'm working on so I don't feel like I need to rush myself. It's definitely nice to have a buffer for that exact reason. If something goes wrong, like your computer dies twice in the same year, you don't have to interrupt your publishing schedule. So that's nice. I have a bit of I think I have about 3 years of buffer. So what I'm working on right now will go out, I believe, in 2028. That seems right. So you did listen to the songs I sent. How late did you go last night? How much time was left on the story? I put out, this is going to sound crazy, I put out 5 books a year plus a box set. So I put out 6 books every year. Were there 2 hours left after I said there were 2 hours? How are you awake? Who would ever be unlucky enough to have their computer die twice in the same year? We laugh so we don't cry. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Yes, I do put something out every 2 months. I just put something out in February, so I will be putting something out again in April. Writing is my full-time gig, and I do have a buffer. So both of those things are true. I am also a writing machine. That is also true. I have to rebuild my custom dictionary by reminding Word that certain things that it doesn't think are words are actually words. Also, Joe, how you doing today? I hope you got some good sleepy sleeps. I just kept going whenever I thought it was close to an ending. Did you get to the end? Excellent. I think I got an extra half a page in. Excellent. The scene is pretty clean, aside from needing to fix up a few grammatical confusions. Would you butter your toast with bacon grease? No, I wouldn't. Because I, one, don't like bacon as much as most people, and two, I'm trying to eat healthier. So bacon grease is not all that healthy. I have, though, Joe, I have fried onions in bacon grease, which is really delicious, and I have fried eggs in bacon grease. So I do occasionally do that. I do use bacon grease for things. I just don't put it on my toast. Lunch made for the late picnic later. I'll see about that writing thing next time. Heck yeah, Mai. enjoy your picnic. That sounds awesome. It's too chilly here to do picnics, but I'm glad that you're able to do that. That sounds amazing. I am catching up on what was said during the Sprinty Spront because I'm sure I missed a bunch of it. ZZ320, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'm a little better able to answer them during break times. Writing is my full-time gig for anyone who's wondering. I work full-time from home. That's why I do streaming Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's just I'm doing this work anyway. I turn on the stream to share my work time with people. I do have a 3-year buffer. So the stuff that I am publishing this year was, I believe, written in 2020 and edited in 2021. And then polished in 2023, and then essentially put on the shelf to wait to go out. And that is the books 4, 5, and 6 of the Aruvalia Chronicles, and we are currently working on editing books 13, 14, and 15, which I wrote last year. Not even last year, the year before, actually, I believe. I finished this in January of last year. So yeah, and then the book that I wrote last year, at the end of the year, which is a new trilogy for the Celestial Serenade, will get edited next year, will get polished the year after that, and so on and so forth. I do not sing professionally. No, that was just for fun. That was just for funsies. I've had bacon grease chocolate chip cookies before. I've not, but I've heard that bacon and chocolate go really well together, which is weird. Although sea salt and chocolate go really well together too. It's weird. Food science is weird, but I appreciate it. It's in the low 20s here, pretty close to 70. I live in a place where winter does not exist. Heck yeah. I mean, not heck yeah scorching summers, because that probably sucks. We're at like 4 degrees today. Let's see. Oh, 7. It's a bright, balmy 7 degrees Celsius here. 7 whole degrees. It was like 3 last night when I went to bed. Is it hard for you to hold the books before publishing? It's a little hard to not, like, shout it on the rooftops, because I always want people to be able to share in, what I'm doing and what I've written. But I do at least have beta readers who have read through them before they go out. So if I really, really need to talk to someone, I can be like, hey, remember what happened in that book? And I at least have somebody to talk to about it. I have friends in Alberta, so I get to hear about it. Yep. I think we're actually slightly warmer than in Alberta, too. Not as warm as Vancouver. We're about 4 hours inland. I heard my phone go off. We're about 4 hours inland from Vancouver. So not quite as warm as there, but we do have a little less winter than the rest of Canada. It's 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees C here. So about the same, Blur. About the same. Bruce says, my days may very well be numbered at my current job. Well, I know that you're happy with where you are at your current job, but if you're feeling like it's time to move on, I hope you get that, Bruce. I really do. I'm crossing my fingers and toes for you. Sending all the good wishes. And then I think I'm caught up. I think I caught up on everything that you guys said while I was focusing. While I was concentrating. I do apologize that I can't always keep an eye on everything whilst I am editing, focusing. My brain is buffering a bit today, guys. I apologize. But I do try to catch up afterwards. How did I get so far ahead? Like my buffer? I published my first book in 2014. That was Island of Lost Forevers. I was still living in England at the time. So quite a while ago. We came back in that same year, 2014. And I used to basically write, edit, and publish right away. But what I very quickly found is that when you are an indie publisher, I froze the animation there. When you're an indie publisher, momentum is very key. The more momentum you have, the easier it is to keep eyes on what you're doing. And I couldn't write quickly enough to keep up with what I was doing. And so for a couple years, I just kind of tried my best to get books out. I even started writing. I actually started writing Eternity's Empire so that I could publish. I originally published them as singular chapters, so they were 10,000 word chapters, and I would try to publish them monthly or bi-monthly, just to kind of keep up that momentum. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't write quickly enough to keep up with it. So I basically just kind of paused my publishing schedule for a couple years, so I could get some things finished. And by that point, I had a production schedule that I could sustain. It was sustainable. I could finish. I write a trilogy every year, essentially. I basically write one large trilogy and 2 smaller books, and then edit a trilogy and 2 smaller books, and then polish a trilogy. But it's not all the same. They need time to sit in between. So I have a draft cycle where I write something one year, I edit it the next year, I polish it the year after that, and I sort of intersperse what I'm working on, so I switch off back and forth between projects so that nothing ever goes stale. That's what works for me. If that sounds super complicated, it's because over several years I've developed a system that works for me. So I essentially have A days and B days. I'll work on the Aruvalia Chronicles on A days, and on B days I will work on Everyone's Child. And then Friday is like my marketing or formatting or whatever blogging day. Joe, I'm proud of you. And so that's kind of how I organize my schedule throughout the year, and I'll plan to do one big project written and one big project edited every year to sort of keep the cycle going. And then once I felt like I had enough of a buffer, I updated some of the covers for some of my older projects, and I republished them, and I've been doing a publishing schedule ever since. I do think I've sped up my production since I've started doing this as like my regular thing, so that has helped maintain the buffer. But really, if I ever have a year where I can't write, then that buffer is going to disappear pretty quickly. I spend about 4 to 6 months writing for my big projects. I spend about 4 to 6 months writing them, about 4 to 6 months editing them, and then a solid month of not working on anything else to polish them after they come back from my beta readers. So it's a compressed time period. And then for my smaller projects, I spend anywhere from 1 to 3 months writing them, 1 to 3 months editing them, and then when I get them back from my readers, I just spend a couple of weeks polishing them off to get them ready to go out. My big projects tend to be a trilogy that each book runs around 100,000 words. So it's about 300,000 words for the trilogy. And then my smaller projects tend to be about 60 to 75,000 words per book. Just to give you some idea of what I'm doing. On C days, we make popcorn. On Sundays, we make popcorn. I wish I could write that consistently. I have 3 different series kind of up in the air and just finished a book 1 draft after 12 years of rotating between series. I do create a schedule for myself. So I do have written down on my computer a rough schedule of when I hope to be done with certain things, and I try to stick to that schedule as much as I can. I can't always. I get sick sometimes. I need to take breaks. I try to account for that, but you can't always account for everything. Like when your computer breaks down twice in a year. Angel Faye, hello, how's it going, my friend? But I do have a schedule, which is based on knowing how much I can do. Everything's based on knowing how much I can do. You kind of just have to try a bunch of different things and find what works for you is really the best advice I can give. What works for me isn't necessarily going to work for everyone. Don't worry if there's a year where you can't write, I'll write for you. I am a little bit nervous about how that would work out, but also very curious. Jay Chili, in case you guys didn't know, is also a writer, a fellow writer. Although I think he does more horror stuff. Mad Lad, hello! So good to see you. I do know it probably took a lot of time and discipline to get to this point. It does take a lot of practice. It does take a lot of discipline. And here's the thing that you need to know too is you're going to work so hard on developing your discipline that eventually you'll get so good at it that you'll work too much. You'll turn a corner and you won't be able to stop working. And your friends and family will be like, you work too much. You need to step away and go do things. And you'll be like, oh, I gotta do just another page. Just another 1,000 words. When that happens, take the advice of your friends and family and go away from the computer for a little while. It's hard. Balance is hard. I have a full-time job that I have to work around, and that does steal my creative spoons. Yes, I do. Keep in mind, if you have a full-time job and you're looking at the amount of writing that I'm saying I get done, writing is my full-time job. All of the energy that would be giving to a workplace, I am giving to my writing. Writing does take energy. I talk about this a lot. Creativity takes energy. You need to have energy to give it. If you don't, it's going to be hard and you're going to struggle. So if you're working full time, forgive yourself for having other obligations and for having less creative spoons every day to work with. And don't compare your work to, like, don't compare your productivity to mine. Compare your productivity to yours. Keep track of your word counts. This really helped me. Keep track of your word counts every day. Over time, over a couple years, you're going to notice that your pace gets faster. Your productivity increases. Don't compare yourself to other writers because your situation is going to be different from theirs. Compare yourself to you. Set your goals against you and work from your benchmark. Otherwise, you'll drive yourself insane. Rai, hello, my friend. How's it going? I try to make Megan take more breaks. Joe does try to make me take more breaks. Trying to set a schedule for more focused writing, but a full-time job is taking a lot of the time. Yeah, same thing. And it's hard. I used to write on my lunch breaks when I was writing full-time. I would just open an email to myself, type a couple of paragraphs, send it, and then try to finish it when I got home. But it was hard. I usually write about 5 scenes a week in my big projects and another 4 scenes in my small projects. And I was writing, if I was lucky, 1 scene every 2 days when I was working full time. It's hard. I'm going to pause the timer for a second because I got to run AFK and use the ladies. I'm going to get to a point where I'm 3 to 4 books ahead because I'm a mom of 4 boys first. Exactly. And the buffer is very helpful because it lets you take your time. It lets you focus on quality. And if you've got 4 boys, it lets you focus on your boys without feeling like you're letting anybody down. Rai, how do you feel about bacon grease on toast? Depends. Did you use the grease to toast the bread or just spread it on there? That's a good question too. I might use it to toast the bread. I definitely wouldn't just slather it on there. I find that don't compare yourself to others' advice kind of stupid, but only in the sense of use others as a form of motivation or learning rather than a way of bringing yourself down. Maybe. But if you work full time and have 4 kids and you're looking at my word counts and saying, I should be able to do the same amount of words as Megan. I wrote 12,000 words yesterday, and this is not meant to be a brag. I wrote 12,000 words yesterday because I did nothing else. I sat at my computer for most of the day. Ghost Pepper and I didn't eat dinner together yesterday because he was doing a charity stream. I worked until almost 7:30 at night before I ate dinner to get those words in, and that was after Joe told me to take a break. I didn't have to stop and feed my kids or my husband. I didn't have to stop and tie shoes or lay out clothes or type emails or do any other job. I literally just sat here all day, and then I went out to my fridge and I pulled out some sushi that Ghost bought for me, and I ate dinner. So if you're trying to be like, I said I'm waiting for your stream all day. Joe, I don't stream on Mondays. So if you have all that stuff going on, if you have, you know, 4 kids and a significant other to feed and clothe and get in bed and pay, you know, do a job to pay bills, you're probably not going to write 12,000 words in a day. Let's be realistic. So that would be an unreasonable goal. But I do agree if it's like, oh, Megan has a buffer and she has a publishing schedule and she keeps it, stuff like that, sure, aspire to that. But keep in mind that you have to fit it into your life, right? My schedule fits into my life, and I would never be like, yeah, if you have 4 kids and a full-time job, you too can write 12,000 words in a day, because I don't know if that's actually possible. That's not my reality. I can get about 3K words count per 2 hours when I keep on my time schedule. That's awesome. That's 3K per every 2 hours is pretty awesome. Use it to butter your toast. I definitely wouldn't do that. You can try. Pie's lurking, I believe. I think all your chat messages should be included in your daily word count. I have no idea how I would count that, Joe. I managed 14K when I hit a really good roll one day, but also wasn't working that day and probably wrote like 9 to 9. Exactly. Cheers, the Mad Lad. Also, I should say 12K is not a typical day for me. That was a really, really good day for me. That doesn't happen very often. But it happened because I literally didn't have any other obligations. On a typical day where I have to cook dinner and I take time to socialize with my husband, that 12K wouldn't happen, right? ZZ320, thank you so much for hanging out. Good luck at work today. I hope I was able to answer some questions in a useful fashion. I try to be very realistic about the fact that I have a writing process and I have, you know, my writing schedule and my time, but everyone is different, right? Different things work for different people, and I think the most important thing about finding a writing routine is finding one that works for you and doesn't make you feel insane and doesn't make you feel like crazy. I'm gonna take a quick break because I gotta use the ladies' room. Please remember to get up, to stretch, to move around, grab yourself something to eat and or drink. Take your meds if you need to take your meds. This is a reminder to check if you have already taken your meds, if you have meds that you need to take every day, and I will be right back. I'm back, and I've got a question for Joe. Joe, are you slathering bacon grease on your raw toast? Because you don't even like your bread toasted. You like it raw. So, are you just slathering your bacon grease onto raw toast? Because that feels like Scrapple levels of gross to me. Not gonna lie. That's what Joe calls it, is raw toast. Yeah, raw bacon grease on raw toast. That is Scrapple levels of gross, my friend. It's a no for me. Mad Lad, I missed if you said how you're doing. How are you, my friends? And also, how's your computer doing? Doing great. How's everything on your end? Doing pretty good. Tired this week. Got a couple health things going on, but we're going to muddle through as best we can. The sun has arrived. It was very rainy for a couple weeks. My computer is doing the same. I don't know how you live with that, the Mad Lad, but good luck. I hope it behaves. I'll have to send it in a couple of messages, so give me a sec. No worries, Blur, take your time, because I'm gonna unleash the timer. I'm gonna let the time happen, and I will read your messages at the end of next Sprinty Spront. Gonna be productive and do 2 videos during this timer. Hell yeah, Rai. Cheers. Joe, this is whatever else it is. I know this is where you come to talk about your cursed food ideas, but it is a productivity stream. So productivity does happen on the stream. Much to your dismay, I know. It's too early for productivity. It's 3:10 where you are, Joe. She's finishing her bottle on her swing chair, and after that, hopefully to dreamland. Fingers and toes crossed. How have you been sleeping, Angel Faye? Does she let you get any sleep? I slept for 12 hours. You're so lucky. I felt like I slept really good last night, and then I woke up and I still felt tired. Like, I woke up at first feeling refreshed, and then an hour later I was like, I'm tired. Why am I tired? cheers, Pie. Joe was looking for you earlier. Signing off as I need to put her to sleep. And for me too, Angel Face, so glad to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Feeling a little under the weather probably doesn't help. That's true. My body is probably absorbing the rest from sleep at a faster rate. Like, I just use up that energy super quickly, and then my body's like, well, time for another nap. Hey, no worries, Blur. I asked for that wall of text. I shall read that as soon as we get back to break. Uh-oh. Pie and Joe have united. What you chaosin'? What you chaosin' today, Joe? It involves bacon grease, apparently. I think I missed it, Joe. Did you finish the story in Honkai last night? Yeah, apparently he's slathering bacon grease on raw toast and offering it to people. We pouring it on people? No, Pie! That would be awful! Nobody tell Peter that Pi wants to put bacon grease on people. He'll be even more eager to eat everyone in chat. It can just be liquid enough. The idea of, like, being bathed in bacon grease sounds so gross to me. It would take so long to get that off. All right. I said I had 3 scenes to edit today. I have now edited 1 of them. 2 left to go. Now, the next scene is an action scene, so I expect it to take longer, but let's see. No. What? Joe, why would I be done? We still have a sprint and a half to do. Just take your human outfit off like a normal gremlin. I can't do that, Pi. I'm not a gremlin. That's true. I am never done. There is always more. I do stop for the day, but there is always more to do. I thought we could play charades for this. You can play charades if you want, Joe. I don't know how you're going to do it from off camera, but I'm very eager to find out how you're going to play charades. No, I don't think I am. I don't think... Ghost Pepper is, definitely. But I don't think I have that distinguished status. Just Ghost Pepper. end of second sprinty sprint. Doing good. Still a little over, still about half a page ahead, which is good. So hopefully at the end of the next sprint, we can hit the end of this scene. If this scene isn't too terribly difficult. It'll still leave me 6 pages to edit after lunch, but that won't be too terribly difficult. I know that I owe a stretch to Pi. I was saving that for the end of this sprint. Oh my goodness. Nice. Gotta go. My friend will be here soon. Happy writing and have a good rest of the stream. Mai, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you have a fabulous time with your friend. Cheers, Blur, to the hydrate. And everybody, save your work. Hit those save buttons. Do not lose your digital progress. You have no sound right now. Can anybody hear me? Sound is good here. Thank you, Clendy Man. I was just wondering. I was like, I will turn on the stream and double the sound if I gotta. Okay. Excellent. Good. We'll find out if Blur wants us to read her update now or wait. Let's see. There was a lot of chaos during that. The Honkai patch didn't end until like 6 a.m. Joe, were you up till 6 a.m. your time streaming? That was like 3 a.m. That was like 2 hours after I went to bed. She sleeps through the night and so sleep is good. I know Angel Faye already went to bed, but that's good to hear. No wonder Joe thinks it's too early for productivity. It doesn't even sound like you slept last night, Joe. Rizal just crashed on me. No, Rai. Did you save before that? It's always time for chaos. When Pi and Joe are here, it's always time for chaos. Unfollows non-gremlin. Sag. It's not my fault I was born non-gremlin. Can you get Ghost to come play charades with us? He is currently at work teaching children, so I'm guessing not. I'm guessing he cannot play charades with us or even come to the stream. Let's play Sketchel.io. Is that like Drawful? Rai didn't steal Pies first today because Blur did. How's it on once again? My dad was talking to me. No worries. I will scroll up and read your messages in a moment. Resolve autosaves. Whew! That's good. Saved by the bell. I'm just gonna save again. Just be extra careful. I was not fake sagging! If you actually unfollowed me, I would be so sad! I would be very sad. Who would make me hydrate if not you, Pi? Only you can do hydrates. You are the holder of all the hydrations. Alright. Went pretty well. I was able to get everyone out of the burning town safely. Mostly everyone. Turns out some knights were the ones who lit the town on fire. What? That doesn't sound very knightly. My character has wings, so I was flying over the town to see if anyone else needed help, and I saw that some of the knights killed some people, which made my character very angry. While I was flying, I heard some commotion, and it was my companions fighting some of the knights, so I went and helped them. I got a sneak attack on the captain, which was really nice. Nice. The battle went smoothly. I asked what the fuck happened, and my companions said they had no idea what was going on. Then my DM said I heard the clashing of swords, so I ran to where I heard it, thinking someone needed help. It turns out it was the BBEG! So I'm now face to face with the BBEG, though he was fighting the knights who were attacking the town. So I have no... Oh, there's like so many factions. Luckily, he won't attack us at first. He'll talk as long as we don't say anything stupid. The only one I'm afraid of saying something stupid is my character's partner. He's pretty hot-headed, and he's gotten us in trouble before. Oh no! That sounds like it was pretty successful. I'll cry too if Pi actually unfollows me. The BBEG, it stands for Big Bad Evil Guy. Big Booba Examination Gang is a little creepy, but, you know, probably evil, so, you know. Big Bad Evil Guy. It's become a really common tabletop term. We always used to just refer to them as the big bad. But BBEG is like the term that most people use now. That would be a very evil gang. Saturday was a roller coaster. Hey, that's how D&D goes sometimes, you know? You save some people, you fight some knights, you get monologued by the BBEG. Yeah, big bad is always the term I've used. But I guess BBEG is easier to type. So I'm the BBP Beat Boot Pie. What does BBP stand for? Big Bad Pie? Oh no, Beat Boot Pie. Big Bad Pie Beat Boot Pie. Big Bad Beat Boot Pie. Big Bad Beat Boot. Why? Because I said beep boop so much? Beep boops too much. Beep boop. I am not a robot. Beep boop. Please do not call me a robot. Beep boop. I am a people. BBEG takes more time to say than Big Bad. Y'all made it more complicated. Yeah, but it takes less time to type. I think it's like a social media... thing. I didn't make it. It's not my term. I usually just say, I am a people. That is correct. Beep boop. I usually just say Big Bad. But y'all are the ones on the TikToks where they use all the acronyms and stuff. The BBEG is one not to monologue. Oh, that might be bad for you, though. If he's not going to monologue, he might sword you in the face. I mean, tabletop players in general. Because of the TikToks. BBEG is something you would mostly see in written form. Yeah, I think mostly in written form. sometimes, like in Winds of Chaos, you don't know who the big bad is going to be. So the players are constantly like, are we the bad guy? Are we going to be the BBEG? Those aren't the kinds of acronyms I see on TikTok. Apparently, the kind of acronyms you see on TikTok are the big booba examination gang. So that's even weirder. I'm not on the TikTok. I don't understand the TikTok. I'm too old for the TikTok. For all you guys who are like, how old are you? Too old for TikTok. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I'm on Thirst Talk. Is that a real thing, Joe? Don't answer. I don't want to. If it is a real thing, I don't want to know. If it is a real thing, I don't think I want to know. I'd love a campaign where the players slowly find out that the reason they're fighting, for example, one member is avenging their parents' death, was caused by the other players. So that, like, the party turns against each other at the end. That would be diabolical. That would be super diabolical. Everything is a thing on TikTok. If it's a thing on TikTok, I don't... Peter's here! Peter! Welcome in. You just invented Captain America Civil War? Is that the plot of Civil War? I never watched that one, I don't think. I watched Winter Soldier, ? I never watched Civil War. There are a bunch of Marvel movies that I never bothered with, and Captain America was kind of top of my list. I don't like Captain America. I never really liked Captain America, so I haven't watched a lot of them. I am interested to see what they do with the franchise now that they've handed the shield over to a less insufferable character. Because I found the original Captain America just absolutely insufferable. And I'm told that he was toned down from the comics for the movies. So it was like, oh boy. So I'm interested to see where it goes now. But I never really got into Captain America. The plot of Civil War is... how can we sell all the action figures to kids? I mean, isn't that the whole point of the Marvel Universe in the first place? Is to sell merch? I still can't get over the fact that they made the Barbie movie and it was good. It had no right to be good, but it was good. And then Mattel was like, we're going to create an extended universe based on toys. And it's like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it's not a good idea. You had one movie that had no right to be good. Don't think you can make a plot out of Uno. The thing is, the BBEG wants me to be on his side, so that's why he'll talk. Ah, I see. But if you deny his advances, then he might sword you in the face. They crammed every character imaginable into Civil War for no reason. Yeah. It was... What does Uno movie is gonna be goated? That's not a full sentence. That doesn't follow the rules of grammar. You were an English major, Joe. They got away by the skin of their teeth with Barbie being good. Yeah, it was a fluke. What does that mean, Joe? I don't speak that language. That's impossible. I'm gonna pause the timer again because I gotta go pop AFK and use the Ross room. But yeah, Barbie was a great movie. It had a lot to say about society. But it was a sheer fluke that that movie was as good as it was. Because it really had no right to be that good. Like, when they were planning to make a Barbie movie, and pretty much right up until the moment that Barbie movie came out, I was like, this is ludicrous. This is such a silly, what are they doing? And then Barbenheimer was the thing, and I feel like that contributed a lot to the success of the Barbie movie, was the whole Barbenheimer thing. And it was actually a good movie. Like, I actually enjoyed it. Greatest of all timed makes no sense. delicious with mint sauce. I like that one. So like, yeah, Barbie was good, but it was like a lightning strike, right? Lightning's not gonna strike twice. The Uno movie isn't gonna be good. I'm sorry to tell you. And the Polly Pocket movie and whatever other garbage they have planned, it's not gonna be good. I'm sorry to tell you. Battleship was amazing. It was horrible, but it was amazing. That's, you know how we talk about, like, guilty pleasure movies and what's, like, a movie that's so bad that it's good? That's Ghost's so bad that it's good movie. Ghost doesn't rewatch movies, and he's watched... Urban Dictionary is not a real dictionary, Joe. But thank you. I love you, but it's not a real dictionary. Anybody can contribute to Urban Dictionary, and they can put whatever they want in there. I don't know if I can be hip with the kids, Joe. I feel like fundamentally that ship has sailed. I'm an old woman from the Jurassic area, and I barely understand words like cap. So yeah, Ghost does watch Mystery Science Theater 3000 a lot, actually. He watches a lot of those channels with, like, the old B movies and the commentary on them and stuff. But that's his, yeah, Battleship is his, like, this movie is a disaster, but they knew it was going to be a disaster, so they threw in a bunch of little stuff to make it a polished turd. That's his polished turd movie, is Battleship. We're gonna make it even darker in the room, and we'll change which spirit we're hanging out with. Let's hang out with the frog. Let's have the orange frog. I don't like it as a term, so I'm not going to use it. I don't know if... It's like skibbity. I reject its existence because it's stupid. I'd slather that orange frog in bacon grease and eat it. I mean, it would probably taste good. Honestly. Frog legs. Is Winds of Chaos happening tonight? It should be, and I think it's on Ghost's channel, because I think it was on Flutter's channel last time, so I think it should be on Ghost's channel this week. They're hopefully going to wrap up the murder investigation. I kind of disagree, Joe. Goated is like a stupid term. It shouldn't exist. I'd slather you in orange frogs and eat you, Joe? Oh, God. See, this is why it's a good thing Peter wasn't here when Pi was talking about dumping bacon grease on people. No, it should... Woof is usually after Ghost and before Flutter. So I think it will be on Ghost's channel tonight. Obviously, do whatever it says on the Discord, but it should be on Ghost's channel tonight. Urban Dictionary isn't a real dictionary. It's not. Wikipedia isn't a real encyclopedia. Meds being consumed. Carly, I'm proud of you. Also, Silver Kangaroo, welcome in. What a time to join this stream. I promise that we usually do productivity. We don't usually talk about meaningless terms and bacon grease, but sometimes it does happen. Joe is, like, writing an angry email right now. Megan doesn't know what she's talking about. I told you, I'm not hip with the kids. I'm from a different generation. We do have pasta recipes here as well. Oh my goodness. Peter, did I ask how you're doing? How you doing? What is up? I don't know if I saw you answer. Because we were talking about so many things when you came in, but I hope you're doing well. Joe, as we've established, I'm much older than you. By enough years to be in a completely different generation. I'm what they call one of them elder millennials. Was born at a time when I shouldn't be associated with millennials, but for some bizarre reason I am, even though I have almost nothing in common with them. But I don't really belong to the generation before me either, so I'm just kind of drifting in this weird space of I grew up playing outside until the streetlights came on because my parents wanted nothing to do with me, but also I had the internet in high school. I'm older than all of you. Patently not true, Carly. I'm definitely older than you. Sarcasm doesn't text well. Silver Kangaroo, I got ya. I understood. How's it going, Silver Kangaroo? What is up? Sleepy but okay. Found out one of my photos was put on display for an event. That's awesome, Peter. Megan knows what ASL means. Yes, I do. I'm 69. Carly, I love you. Unless 5123 is your age. Bardo! We love you too. Welcome in. Silver Kangaroo, let me know what decade you were born in, and we'll see if you're older than me. I'm gonna assume that your date of birth starts with a 19, so let me know what that third number is, and we'll see. You don't know what ASL is. A/S/L. I need to repost my license. You should, Carly, just because I like it. Janine, hello. Mine's enough that people gasp when they hear that my birthday starts with 19. You don't know what that means, Bard? Oh, are you asking? MSN chat rooms were better than AOL. I will die on this hill. Oh, God. What about ICQ, though, Peter? What about ICQ? What about ICQ? MSN Messenger was better than AOL. I'm well versed in the old magic. I know where I was when JFK was shot. Older than me for sure. All right. For anyone who gets this reference, I was evidently born in the year of New Coke. Just a weird thing that I know. We don't discuss ICQ chat rooms with the outsiders. You weren't cool if you didn't have Trillian Messenger. I held on to Trillian Messenger for so long, man. I only recently stopped installing it. I was still in the primordial ooze when JFK was shot. Same. But evidently I was born in the year of New Coke. Alright, I paused the timer so I could take a quick trip to the washroom, and then I promptly didn't do that, so I'm gonna do that. I'm going to go wash a room, as Carly likes to say. Don't forget to get up, stretch, move around, shift the way you're sitting, grab something to eat and or drink, take your meds if you need to, check that you've taken them or not taken them, if that is something that is relevant to you. Gotta take care of these meat bags that we're driving around, because they don't self-maintain, unfortunately. Year of New Coke doesn't make you that old. It makes me older than 90% of this chat. At count right now, there are potentially 2 people here right now who are older than me. And I'm guessing it's Silver Kangaroo and Clundy Man. Pretty sure the rest of y'all, children's. Joe, we've established that I'm older than you. Carly asked that you show her license on stream for verification. I will do that as soon as I get back from the restroom, because I really need to pee. I have returned. I feel much better now. What chaos has ensued while I go piss queen. Heck yeah. I'm physically older than all of you, not by time, just because I've been through some shit. Peter, we love you. You're younger than you think. I have no idea how this started, but I'm happy to be a part of it. Joe's here, so that's probably how it started. I'm gonna guess. I'm still wondering how Joe is even awake, because apparently he was up till 6 a.m. streaming Honkai Star Rail Story. Working and unfortunately not working. Sag. As a waitress in a cocktail bar. Aw, look at that cute little frog emote. When I figure out how to road trip across oceans, I think they are gonna, like, dig a tunnel under the Atlantic Ocean or something. I don't think it's a good idea, but they are planning to do it. All aboard the Glizzy submarine. How deep does the Glizzy sub go? At least 72 inches. Oh boy. Casual 10-hour stream, normal stuff here. That's true. Joe does marathon streams pretty often. I don't know how you do it. Another way to determine age, just ask everyone what their first computer was. My first computer had 2 gigabytes of storage on it, and we were never gonna need more. I can't remember what operating system it was. I want to say Windows 95, but it might have not been, because it might have been before that. We didn't have a computer until I was in high school, though. Commodore VIC-20 on release day. Dang! Nice! Joe is as innocent as the fresh-driven snow. I don't know if I believe that at all. Alright, I promised I would show Carly's... Oh, sorry, I got distracted by Joe's message. Carly's license. Well, let me... How does it... Ooh. That might work. It's a little bit blurry. Carly's license. Age 69 years. Very real watermark. Very legal. Very real. The very first computer we had was, I believe, an Amstrad something. Took floppy disks. Yeah, we didn't have a computer until I was in high school. So the first computers that I used were those really big old Macs that had the, like, not even the 3-inch floppies, but like the old floppy disks, the ones that were actually floppy. We used those when I was in elementary school, but we didn't have a computer at home until I was in high school. That license seems suspect. Where are Carly's ears? You know, it's totally, look at the very real watermark. Look at the very real watermark. We are gonna have to start the next Sprinty Spront here shortly, because I do gotta eat at some point today. All right, we'll see if we find Bard's license. We'll show Bard's license at the end of the stream. All right. Music needs ears. Beethoven was deaf. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. You found it. Okay. Did you send it to me? Bard, did you send it? Bard! Why it's not giving me the open in browser option anymore, so people might see your username on Discord. Very real watermark. I think I do remember 8-inch floppies, to be honest. Let me... Oop. Hang on. I forgot I have display capture on. That is some J Chili art right there. I'm looking up a comparison image. Oh, we definitely had some of the 8-inch ones. I think we had all of them, honestly. The computers in my elementary school were really old because they just never replaced them. We had this game that I really liked, but I can't remember the name of it, where you played as a fish. And it would give you like a little, it was like a little text game, and it would give you a little prompt. And you had to say what you would do based on like the prompt. And the only way to be good at the game was that you had to play it over and over and memorize which of the prompts did which thing. And then you could tell the fish to like dive or jump or whatever. I don't even remember. Is that what it was called? That was my favorite game when I was in elementary school. And I literally only played it in elementary school. And then when I got to middle school, they had newer computers in the middle school, and I never saw it again. Is that what it was called? Freddy Fish? Oh, I don't think it's the same thing. This game was like... No, this game was way older than that. I think it might have been called Odell Lake. Because this looks like... This looks like the game. Ignore this guy. This looks like the game where you were basically just a fish and it had little text prompts and you had to... We also had Oregon Trail. But this was the game that I liked. And it had this little... This was definitely it, because it had this little bit at the bottom. It's so small, where you had to decide if you would eat or chase or run away. For the Apple II and Commodore 64. As a fish, the player could go exploring or play for points. The object was to decide which fish to eat while trying to survive and to avoid other enemies such as otters, ospreys, bait from fishermen. While exploring, the player could select from 6 different species of fish. When playing for points, the computer randomly assigns the type of fish that the player would play. In addition, the titles for each of the types of fish and other creatures were removed when playing for points, forcing the player to rely on memory as the game was also timed. That was my favorite game when I was in elementary school. I didn't know what it was called. I'm shocked that I found it. Blur, I can't believe you've played that. Tomarin is not happy with that guy's face. Tomarin's never happy, though. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I did not play Q-Bob. I had never seen Q-Bob until Bard. We've got some redeems. We have got a Hydrate for Blur. Carly? Oh, this is not the intense love. Say the thing is... Fuck you, Carly, and shut up. You want the other one, probably. The intense love one. I love you, you dumb bitch. Blur, have my love. Book question. All right, one quick pause. Have you ever had a situation when people say this book is very long, but you think they're exaggerating, and then you get the book and you're like, oh, they meant it? Yes. I read Battlefield Earth, and that book was very good, but also insanely long. Good. Okay, you got the one you wanted. Everyone's gotten the curse words they wanted. Let's do our final round of productivity. Finally got my hands on Dream of a Red Chamber. Haven't heard of that one. 2,000 pages! Good God. I think that's even longer than Battlefield Earth. Oops. Joe's so mad right now because he tries so hard to prevent me from doing any kind of work. Sometimes you have to look at a book and ask yourself, is it all necessary? You're telling me that 2K isn't shortened down, like there's nothing you could remove. Fair. A storm just hit my place, which means it's prime nap time. Carly, thank you so much for hanging out and sharing your license with us. We appreciate you. Get a good nap. I'll hopefully see you later for Winds of Chaos. Everyone find your nap buddy. Find your nap buddies. Get your blankies. Get your blankies, everybody. Maybe Megan will read us a 2K book, a 2K page book if we ask nicely. Probably not. I don't think I would have enough voice. Allie Bubble Spriggs, hello! Yes, we are hanging out in Spirit City today. I almost said something entirely different. My lips went weird. Why you made me buy a 2K page book just because my blurbo is based on it? Your blurbo is in there, though. I know about the blurbos. I've been explained about the blurbos. I am 76, it looks like. I use this a lot. I have over 500 hours in this game. It's just so good for productivity. No, it's just for your spiritographer rank, Joe. It gives you money that you can use to buy more things. You don't battle the spirits. The spirits don't battle. They're just little cutie patooties. I just leave it running all day. Yeah, I use it. I do 2 writing sessions per day, even when I'm not streaming. And I use it for that. I use it when I'm crafting. When I stream with It's Swift on Saturday nights, I do crafting, and I always have this running in the background, too. I'm with Joe. I'm not a huge fan of the math. Wow, Flower Heart, that is quite the reading list. Those are not, some of those are definitely not light novels. Definitely not light reading. We should get you a comma for Christmas. I'm assuming it was written as a list and that, like a straight up and down list, and that's why there's no commas. I like it better without the commas, more chaotic. Joe does appreciate. I don't think I've read. I've read The Stranger, which is really good. I do have Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment on my reading list, but I haven't read any of the rest of them. Dante's Inferno, I lied. I've read Dante's Inferno. I've read all of the Divine Comedy at least twice. I wrote a book based on Dante's Inferno, or inspired by it at least. But yeah, that is not a light reading list there. Thought I'd drop by for a couple of seconds because I've been so busy lately. Honey Shuckle, we're happy to see you. However long or short, I hope you're doing well. Oh, this is dialogue I used previously. I need to make sure it matches. The big bad reached out to the party to discuss their whole, being a thorn in their side, so next session might be all about getting to showcase their personality and parts of their plan. And it's so nerve-wracking, but that's gonna be so fun, Honey Shuckle! I'm so excited for you. I obviously won't be there, but I'm excited for you and your players. I hope their plan is to steal and eat all the world's cannolis. So they can time travel and eat cannolis from the past too. I love Joe. I love what Joe focuses on in these conversations. Maybe that's the secondary goal. Second video is rendering out. Heck yeah, Rai. It sounds like you've had a very productive day. It reminds me to save my work. Evil villain fight them, random townspeople fight them, sad orphans fight them. Joe, you should get that on a shirt. That'll be the next Joe merch. And then at the bottom it says, cannolis, eat them. Alright, I have reached the final scene of this book. Heck yeah. Alright. That is going to be it for today. For stream, anyway. I will have more work to do on this afternoon, but I will not be doing that on stream. When Ghost made the Maids campaign for the Beauty Bunch, I tried to join the bad guy. That is true. Joe, were you like a succubus vampire, though? I mean, it kind of fit your aesthetic. I also remember that you had met a guy and you were like flirting with him, and I totally shipped the two of you, and then they found you in a closet eating him, sucking his blood specifically, and I was like, oh. Yeah, I romanced and killed a man. I shipped the two of you so hardcore that when you came out of the closet with his dead body, I was like, oh. That happened. Cheers, Blur, for the hydrate. Everybody save your work. Gonna hit the save button one more time. Gonna swing back over chat here just one more quick time to make sure I didn't miss. I missed a ton during the sprint, so there's not gonna be full catching up. Pikachu is a cutie patootie but will mess up other cutie patooties on command. That's not how this game works, though. It's just about chill productivity. It's not about being the very best. Only one didn't properly finish our Faust, Odyssey, Don Quixote, and Dream of Red Chamber. Why didn't you finish the Odyssey if you're still around, Flowerheart? I'm curious. Their plan is more along the lines of, I'm using this town to figure out how time travel works, and I don't care if I hurt people to do it. Aw, poor townspeople. Endless cannolis, though. Stuck in a time loop does mean endless cannolis. There's always more cannolis. We ended right as we ran into him. We'll talk this Saturday. I'm so nervous. Just hoping my character's partner doesn't say anything stupid. He's a bit of a hothead and has gotten us into trouble before. Also figured out how to make master text boxes, so review videos should take half the time now. Heck yeah, Rai. Glad to hear it. It's called having my priorities straight. The goal in D&D is to fight everyone. Usually the bad guy, but it depends which side you're on. That's why no one's ever invited me to play D&D. You've been invited to play, Joe. You and I are in a chat with somebody who is actively making a campaign for us. I know we haven't, like, talked about it in a while, but I assume it's still gonna happen. For my big bad, I'm gonna try to go pragmatic, self-interested cunning. I like it. I like a complicated villain. I like someone who's not cut and dry evil, someone who has a purpose for their ambition, even if it's a twisted purpose. My favorite morally gray trope is doing something good for bad reasons. Like, I am trying to do something good, but for the worst possible reasons. Is one of my favorite morally gray tropes. And I love a victim, not a victim. I love a villain with layers. I love a big bad that has layers, and complexity and, twisted logic. Just somebody that you can almost sympathize with. Almost! But then they say something so horrible that you're like, nope, this is why you're the bad guy. Which means, of course, I have to be those things. Well, you have to embody them, at least, for the time that you're playing that character. That individual has no idea what they're in for. I feel like that individual knows you well enough to know what they're getting into. The video I'm editing right now is for the oddest bottle of bourbon I own. Ooh, do you want to tell us which type of bourbon it is, Rai, or is that secret? I finished twice. It's finished twice in rum barrels for 3 months each, and it just tastes like rum and it's wild. Dang. I hope I get to romance and kill a man again. I mean, you'll have to try, right? The big bad wants to learn how to master time travel to stop their entire species from having killed themselves from time traveling poorly and does not care about things like humanity. Perfect. Chef's kiss. I'm trying to do a good thing, but in a terrible way. The big bad in my Saturday campaign is definitely morally gray from what I've gathered so far. Even if the story is never written, there should exist an entire story that supports everything the villain does. 100%. 100%. It's important. And the same, I think, is true for sub-characters, right? Side characters. Like, the side characters in your novel don't know that they're side characters. So they should have motivations and dreams and desires and stuff. They may never fully get enumerated on the page, but giving them, having that information at least in your head gives them more depth, and that will highlight things. It will make the story read a little bit more evenly. The last thing you want is for your world and the other characters in it to feel like backdrops for the hero's story. The world should feel fully formed, an entity of its own that exists outside of what your heroes are doing. If your heroes go to a place, things shouldn't be happening there because the heroes are there. Things should happen there whether or not your heroes are there. And it's a little bit of a distinction, right? As a writer or a DM or whatever, you're going to have way more information in your head or in your notes about a person or a place or an event than is ever going to end up on the page or in the campaign or whatever. But it's still important to know that stuff because it lets you add depth. It lets you add a little extra here and there, and those little details are what really makes it pop. So 100%, even if it never makes it onto the page, you should know what your villain desires and why they're doing what they're doing. And you can drop little seeds of that here and there to give that character depth. Kill them in the throes of passion this time. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what happened in the closet. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure that's what was happening in the closet. I don't know if it was specified. I think there's a VOD, Joe, if you wanna, I don't know if you have the link handy, you're probably on your phone right now, but if you want, I think you can drop the link to the VOD, because I think there's a VOD of the Beardy Bunch, roleplay out there on YouTube. I think it might even be on Joe's channel, for anyone who's interested in seeing how Ghost Pepper reskinned the Made RPG so that, they could all play as streamers. So I think if you search Beardy Bunch Ghost Pepper, you'd be able to find it. We're gonna do a little bit of a different raid today. Usually we raid other productivity streamers because we do productivity streams and there's lots of chill, awesome people that we can go hang out with. But this week, our friend ATM0, aka Dad, aka Andrew, is doing a charity drive. He is raising money for Trans Lifeline, I believe is the name of the charity. Originally he set a goal for $500 for the week. We smashed that on the first day. I see that we are up to $850 raised to support trans human rights, and we are now at a goal of 1,000. So let's see if we can hit that by the end of the week. He is playing Monster Hunter with several of our friends. Right now, it looks at the moment like he is playing with Flanny, with Tiki, and I'm not sure who the fourth person is. I do not recognize her avatar. But all good friends. Ghost has participated in this event and will be participating in this event again later in the week. I believe he is doing Thursday and Friday nights as well. So even if you are heading out to another productivity streamer, please drop by, consider clicking on the donate link, because every little helps. Again, the name of the charity is Trans Lifeline. So we're going to head over to there. No, the Mad Lad! Welcome back. Whoops, I forgot. I don't need the whole URL. I just need the username. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you. I'm glad we got to see you, the Mad Lad. I feel like we don't see you as often as we used to, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out. Don't know what happened. I went to make noodles, so I'm back and you don't even know. Peter, I hope those noodles are so delicious, and also that I see you later. Don't forget until I see you again to eat, to drink, to sleep, to get up and move around from time to time. Take care of yourself, because as we said before, these meat bags don't self-maintain. You actually gotta put the effort in. It sucks, I know. Gotta eat every day. Gotta sleep every day. Gotta hydrate every day. I'm wishing you all productivity until I see you again. I will be back tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. PST. We'll be outlining edits for the next book in the Aruvalia Chronicles book 14 tomorrow. And sadly, that will be it for me streaming this week. I'm a little under the weather. I expect to be pretty dragged out on Thursday and Friday. So only 2 streams from me this week. Next week, we'll be back to the regular 3. Hopefully, Stream with Wolf will happen on Saturday. Cross your fingers and toesies, but we'll keep you up to date on that as we get closer. I love you all. You're amazing. And I'll see you again very, very soon.